Hey everybody, it's Lo and welcome back to my channel, Lo Without Limits. Today I'm going to share with you how exactly to read a nutritional label. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. Now I know you're thinking, nutritional label seems pretty straightforward. I think I get it. What else is there to understand? But if you're in a rush and you're just kind of quickly glancing, or you're not really paying attention while making your food, there actually is a little bit more to the nutritional label than you may think. So I have a few things out here with me. Got some falafel mix, paleo birch benders, and ancient harvest elbows that I'm going to just go over the food labels and just talk about food labels in general. So starting off at the very top of the food label is the serving size. So this is what always gets people. So like for me, when I make my pancakes, I'll make a couple pancakes, but I don't often weigh out 35 grams worth of pancake. But this nutritional label is based off of 2 pancakes, assuming that you're making really nice 4-inch pancakes. Assuming these are perfect pancakes and you have 2 of them, that this is what this nutritional label is going off of. This one over here, it's for if you just bake the falafel and you use 1/3 of the falafel mix, then it's 180 calories. Or if you fry the falafel because you're using an oil, this little nutritional panel has a second column for that. And then this one here, it says that the serving size is about 2 ounces or 1/4 of the box, so that there are 4 servings for this box. So if you're making this box for you and your boyfriend maybe, and you both eat half, then you actually just got double of everything that it says. So that's the very first thing to pay attention to, is the serving size, especially with a lot of little snack packs. And you think, oh, okay, it's a 100 calorie snack pack. Little do you know that that snack pack is 2.5 servings. So really it's 250 calories with really good marketing on it. And then right below that, you will have the calories. So that is the calories for those servings. So again, for this one, for the 2 pancakes equaling 35 grams worth of pancake, it is 140 calories. So if you're making pancakes and they're a little bit big, but you're like, oh, it's still 2 pancakes, it could easily be 250 calories because you're not going to their specific serving size. For this one over here, each 2 ounces is 210 calories. So again, if you split this thinking that you're each just gonna have half, you've just doubled that to 400 calories. And over here, the calories are 180 and 230 if you fry them, because they're accounting for the fats and the calories from whatever oil that you're frying them in. And the thing with calories is the FDA has allowed them for both calories on nutritional labels and calories on menus at restaurants, that they have a 20% margin of error. So obviously if I'm doing the math and I'm making the label for my product and I'm putting on the label 100 calories, it could easily be 120 calories and still legal for me to say it's just 100 calories, because as someone making the label, I'm not gonna wanna put the higher amount of calories on there and deter people from wanting to get my 100 calorie snack pack. But so obviously I'm gonna go towards the lower end. So if my snack pack was 120 calories, I can easily put 100, call it a day, versus saying, oh, it's 135. Like, why would I lie? Why would I wanna do that higher margin of error? So always have that in mind, that whatever it is, there may be 20% off, and it's most likely 20% off in the lower range, because again, why would anybody wanna put more calories than they need to on there? It's not smart marketing. Also, if you're tracking your calories in an app and sometimes those calories to the foods don't add up, or you know that proteins and carbs are both 4 calories and fats are 9 calories, and you do the math of however many carbs, fats, and proteins are in the product, and then for some reason it doesn't add up to the calories that they say, that could be because of artificial sweeteners. So a sweetener like stevia or a lot of different things are still considered a carb because they are a form of sugar, but because they're an artificial sweetener and they have 0 calories, it will just show up on the calorie panel as an extra 0. So it may seem like there's 10 carbs in something, but when you do the math, it's a little off. It's because some of those carbs could be coming from 0 calorie sweeteners. So if you're doing the math and you're tracking your food and that seems a bit off, take into account that some of those things, if you're eating something with a sweetener in it, may not even be counting for the full 4 calories of the carb. And next are the main macros. So the very first one is always fat, and they have that broken down into saturated fat and trans fat. And no matter what diet you're trying to do, just try to avoid anything with any trans fats. You just don't want those. So that's actually, I believe in the last decade that has happened. So 10 years ago, it wouldn't have had the trans fats, but now you can see this different saturated fats and trans fats. So this one has 0 grams. This one over here has 1 gram of fat. Sorry, this has 7 grams of fat. 2 of them are saturated, 0 are trans fats. And over here, if I were to not fry them, it would be 2 grams of fat with 0 saturated and 0 trans fats. The same goes for the carbs on here and the protein, but really quickly, next to the side, you will see a percentage. This is the percent daily value, and on pretty much everything is based off of a 2,000 calorie diet. Now, we're not all people eating exactly 2,000 calories a day. So if I were to be eating a 2,000 calorie diet, then yes, 9% of my daily fat intake, given that this is some specific macros that I should be hitting every day, would be met. But of course, some people are doing keto, so they want very low carbs, a low percentage of carbs, and a higher percentage of fat. So even if they were eating 2,000 calories, since their macro ratio is off, then that percent would differ. And also, just not everybody's eating a 2,000 calorie diet. So say you are eating a 2,000 calorie diet and you grab something and it says that 12% of your daily fat intake is accounted for, so about 240 calories. That's 12% for that person on 2,000 calories, but if I'm only trying to eat 1,800 calories, then that's 14% for me. Or if someone's trying to get more, let's say 2,200 calories, then that's 11% for them. So again, not only does your macro breakdown matter, but also just how many calories you're trying to eat. Some people are trying to eat a lot, trying to bulk up. Other people are cutting or just trying to rearrange their macros to see what works for them. So this percentage daily value thing is for some specific macros for some person that's eating exactly 2,000 calories. Again, we're not all like that, and also it's based off of that 20% margin of error too. So also that isn't always perfect. So following the fats, you have cholesterol. Again, it has this percent daily value, which is different for everybody. If you have some cholesterol issues where you need to be eating lower cholesterol, then obviously that percent is way off for you. Same goes for sodium, which is right below cholesterol, so salt. And this percent daily value is based off of 2,300 milligrams per day. So they're thinking that the person should be eating no more than 2,300 milligrams of salt. So that is what that is based off of. But again, if you have any health issues to where maybe you need to be eating less salt, then that percentage does not apply to you. After that, you have the total carbohydrates, and this is broken down into dietary fiber and sugars. So for fiber, everybody should be aiming to get 25 to 30 grams of fiber from food, not supplements. So to have some fiber in here, this has 5 grams of fiber per the 2 4-inch pancakes. And then below it says that there's less than 1 gram of sugar. For this one over here, the dietary fiber, the total carbs is 46 grams, dietary fiber is 4 grams, and again, less than 1 gram of sugar there. And for this one, also, if you were doing keto or if you were tracking your carbs, like net carbs, then you would subtract the total carbs, you would subtract dietary fiber from total carbs. So for this, the total carbs is 46, fiber is 4 grams. So if you were looking at the net carbs, then it would be 42 grams. For the falafel over here, the total carbs would be 28 grams if you baked 3 falafel, and 9 of those grams come from fibers. So that would be 19 net carbs. So again, try to get 25 to 30 grams of fiber into your diet and try to go lower on those sugars. And now it is saying on the nutritional labels what is added sugars, just so you can know what comes from natural foods and what is being added into the product. And the last macro on the box would be protein, which is straightforward. There's nothing really below it because, you know, it's protein. So that is the last one. And then it goes down into vitamins. So a lot of foods are fortified with vitamins, but I truly believe that eating a whole food diet is the best way to get any of your vitamins in. Before supplementation or before eating Cheerios with vitamin C, like eat an orange to get your vitamin C. And if it's still pretty low, then look into a supplement or eat all the Cheerios that you want. But I think that a lot of things are fortified to make them more nutritionally dense, to make them appeal to more consumers, to be able to market like all these nutrients and vitamins on here, but really you should be eating whole foods to get all your nutrients in. But that is usually what's on the bottom of the label. Here would be all of the vitamins. So here it says that it contains 10% of iron, and then over here, get a little bit of calcium and some iron in here as well. And for those two items specifically, the iron and the calcium and all of that does come from the ingredients that are making it, because they are very good products. But if you are looking at like cereals, I highly doubt your cornflakes actually have as much vitamin A as you think. And lastly, on the nutrition label, right below it would be the ingredients. So obviously less is best when it comes to the ingredients here. So for these, it's just organic corn flour and organic quinoa flour. And the quinoa is where you'd be getting those 10% of iron from. Over here, we got some fava beans, chickpeas, spices, and it goes on until the very end. The last one is sunflower oil. And here we have cassava starch, coconut flour, almond flour, eggs, leavening, which is monocalcium phosphate and sodium bicarbonate, so baking soda, salt, monk fruit, and spice. So of course, less is best, and whatever's on the top of that ingredient list is what will be the majority of the food. And as you get lower and lower, it becomes less and less of what came before it. So for the last one, the last ingredient is spice, which is probably a very small percentage in comparison to the cassava flour, which was the very first one listed. In looking at the ingredients, you can also see what may be in it. Thankfully now a lot of places are doing contains right underneath the ingredients. So for this, it contains egg and tree nuts. So without having to go through each ingredient, especially because so many ingredients have like weird names now, and they're trying to hide what's sugar and what's gluten by like all these weird names. But if you see contains and you know, oh, hey, I have a tree nut allergy or really don't like tree nuts, then stay away from that. So they're really making it easy for people to hone in and not get foods that they know may upset their stomach. And when looking at ingredient lists, again, be aware of sneaky names that sugars and glutens and all these things may show up as. Sometimes it's not always as straightforward as you may think, so be aware of things that you may have an allergy to, because sometimes it also may not be completely listed. So just by paying attention to what's on the ingredient list will really, really help you out, because if you do have an intolerance to something, then it's hard to reach your goals and to feel good if you're feeling bloated and just really sick from it. So that is definitely really important to pay attention to the labels from top to bottom. Also, I just wanted to quickly note, while obviously I know a lot of this just from looking at nutrition labels, I did want to Google some of these facts just to make sure that I was 100% correct on like the margin of error and everything. And the very first website that I went to had a little bit of information on nutritional labels. It just kind of had like a photo of it and was like, this is what this part is. And I'm like, oh yes, I see that the protein represents protein. Thank you very much. The other two websites I went to, I wrote them down so I can let you know. The FDA and ChooseMyPlate.gov. Zero information on there. Here are government funded and government run websites that people will turn to and think, oh, .gov, they know what they're talking about, to teach me things about a nutrition label. Here's a label, that's protein. This is protein. Get that. Also, maybe reduce your fats. Fats are important. Fats are very important for hormone health and just like everything. Here they are trusting a government website to get the correct information, and then America is just like so sick from ill health, from poor dieting, just everything. I was just, oh, it really upset me. People are going here. They're the top 3 sites when you Google how to read a food label, and those 2 government ones just had no information. And again, people are trusting the government with this, and it's like not everybody has all the information. Like not even this video has all the information you may want. Like definitely look at other ones, look at other sites, do your research if it's something that you're really interested in. Don't just rely on one site, and definitely don't rely on the government ones, because I was just so disappointed. And then Choose My Plate, like that's to help kids have nice balanced diets and to grow up, and like you need a nice good diet to grow up and to have like your brain to function well, your body to function well. And here they are saying like, well, this just have all the nutrients and not a lot of fat. And it's just like, no, don't tell kids that. Do your research. Even I do not have all the answers. I'm not a dietitian or anything. I just love researching this and sharing this information. And to see that that information is also out there and that people trust these sources, just, I was upset. It was upsetting. But to end that little rant, Honestly, if you just eat things that don't have labels at all, like whole natural foods, if you buy your fruits and veggies, you prepare your own meals, you make your own salads and all these different things, you're roasting your veggies, you're making your protein, things that don't need a label, then you're getting all the nutrients that you need. You don't need fortified nutrients in any of your foods. If you just read the labels, or if you buy things that don't have labels, like fruits and veggies don't need labels. All they have is a little barcode sticker on it, and that's all you need. Unless you go to the farmer's market, they don't even have a barcode sticker, which is even better. So just eating whole natural foods is obviously the best answer, but of course we don't all live in this perfect world where we can all eat that and everything's always meal prepped and we have the time for it. Like sometimes we do just need, like, I'm not Italian, I'm not making my own pasta. Sometimes I do just need to go buy a box of gluten-free pasta. But of course, so that's when reading the labels is really, really important. But I'm gonna have that pasta with some roasted veggies on top and some nice chicken and then some tomato sauce that I'm also reading the label for. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your food label tips are and what you want to see more of on my channel. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe. I upload a new video every Wednesday. So until the next one, thanks for watching.